There we go. So the reason I want to record it is just so that we basically can cover all these bits. We didn't need the icebreaker recorded with this. So for the last 5 years, Adam and I have been running Agile Reading. The reason we set it up was we were kind of fed up of going into London to go to meetups, and all of them seemed to be very agile in London, and that was good for us, and we were happy about that. So we wanted to set it up. We wanted it to be about agile. We found over the last few years we've been venturing ourselves more into software engineering, into AI, into product, into various other things. And so what we found is agile as a word potentially puts some people off. Yeah, not that we're anti-agile in any way whatsoever, but we concluded that we want to make sure that it's a wider set of skills, a wider set of competencies, and that's why we're kind of moving away from Agile Reading as a title. Yes, it's not agile because the future skills we need require agile skills, but it is other things as well, and that's what we're moving to. Sorry, I just keep admitting people. Thank you. So that's why the change away from Agile Reading, and that's kind of the reasoning for it. So the focus for what we're going to be looking at is kind of everything that's on that last board, which is great because it ratifies that, like, mine and Adam's thinking about stuff. There is a load of AI we need to do. There is a load of product stuff. There's a load of strategy stuff. If we can get to some quantum, we will try and get to some quantum. I'm probably going to need to find some actual scientists to come and do some of that stuff rather than us kind of make stuff up about quantum. But that would be useful to go and do, gather some people together those. But also the kind of then that balance, which kind of comes into that really long kind of brief that poster, which Lisa said, actually, where does the balance live between us and the machines? So there's a lot of stuff to focus on. So that's our focus. Basically everything that will make us super duper in the future. That's the aim of what we're going to be covering. Who's organising? Well, it's still going to be me and Adam. So Adam, unfortunately, is not here today. He's actually on holiday, which he just sent me a message saying, "Good luck, I'm on holiday," which is good. So he was pondering about dialing in from Spain and doing that, but it's not. So it will still be me and Adam. We are very open to some more people coming and getting involved and sort of helping with organising and stuff. It's not a huge amount of organising because basically me and Adam have been doing this for 5 years. We kind of know what we're doing, but it'd be good to get more people involved. So if you want to get involved, please message me or Adam and we'll chat about that. So that's who's organising, and that we will be organising carrying on, but that's it. When will it happen? It will happen on the third Wednesday of the month, like we have done in the past. Unfortunately, we couldn't do this the third Wednesday of the month because I was on holiday last week, and so therefore we're actually the fourth Wednesday of the month this time. And so we will go back to our normal pattern of the third Wednesday of the month at about 6 o'clock. So that's the aim of kind of when this will happen. The where it's happened is quite exciting for us at the moment. So we set up the meetup me and Adam started talking about the meetup in January 2020. We then spent a couple of months organising and getting ready for our first meetup, and then Boris said, "Go home." COVID happened, and we've now run 63 meetups online, and we've run 2 in person. So maybe there's a couple more out of those which are in person, which is best speaking me and Adam going to the pub. But most of the stuff we've done has been remote, and that's been cool because we now have people who join us from all over the world. The word Agile Reading scan as Agile Reading in most of the rest of the world, so therefore people think they were joining an Agile Reading group. That was useful. But as we move on, we're actually wanting to go back in person, and so as of this morning, we will be starting. As of next month, we will be doing our meetups at the Penta Hotel, which is just across Reading from here. We will still be doing remote for everybody else who's dialing in, because again, if you look at the two and a bit thousand people who are part of the community, there's about 500, 600 of them who live within about 10, 20 miles of here. The rest of the people live in clusters around the UK, around Europe. We have a small cluster in Sao Paulo. We have a small cluster on the east coast of the US. We have a small cluster in India. We have people who dial in from all over the place. So we will still maintain the online side of it, but we wanted to also do some stuff in person. As I said, I went to the Penta Hotel this morning, met Jose, who's the event manager there, who's great. It feels like a lovely space. I I've only ever been there once before, but it actually feels really nice. It feels like a good place for us to do stuff. So those of you who are in and around the Thames Valley area, please feel free to come in. The first session we'll be Sue's one next month, which we'll talk about in a bit. And then that's where we'll be. And so that's where it will take place, and online on Zoom. So we'll carry on with both sides of this. How can you get involved? Well, if you want to do a talk, please get in contact. We'll talk about that a bit later on as well. If you want to give us some feedback, please do contact me or Adam. If you want to get involved in organising, please do. If you want to host one, that's fine as well. The guys at Penta won't get unhappy if we go somewhere else for something. If you want to do anything else, just let us know. Yeah, and we will try and organise around what the community wants. So that's what we want as much as possible. So that's where we are. Any questions? Any thoughts? Any feedback thus far? Stu's sidekicks. Yeah. Good. Okay. So yeah, the only thing you want to be able to see, you want to see me. Okay, that's enough. That's me. So weirdly, we put the camera on that side, and I'm actually, every time I move away from it, like it stops the screen from using.
AI mobile.
Yeah. So there you go. That's what I look like. But that's important. Okay. So as I said, we will be sharing a mirror board. So the mirror board you guys just put post-its onto is this one. We'll share the slides out. We can share the mirror board. The reason we want the mirror board is we want to kind of record of the meetup. So we'll put the videos onto the meetup, onto the mirror board. We'll put the slides onto it. If the speaker slides are available, we'll put the speaker slides onto them. We'll just basically keep them as a record, so people can come back to things. Because previously we've sent stuff out on emails, but emails get lost, and so therefore we want a place for things to come to. The board itself will have all that detail in, and we'll send all that stuff out. But if you want to get access to it, that's how you get access to it. Click that link. Password, because we've set up our Miro that it needs a password even for externals. The password is FutureSkills. So that's what we're going to be doing with that. What's next on here? Oh, partners. Yeah. So as I said, we do have. Not very helpful. We do have 2 partners at the moment. So Digital, who a lot of us, me and Adam, work for, organise, give us time and kind of pay for our meetup and stuff. So thank you to Digital. If you want to talk about Digital and what they do, get in contact with me or Adam. But we've also picked up a new partner with Miro. Miro as the kind of infinite whiteboard piece. One of the things we're doing with them is developing how Digital is a solution partner for them, but also working out kind of how we want to use tooling in the future. So it seems like a logical kind of piece for us to do. Some really cool stuff you can do in Miro now, but also there's some really, really cool stuff coming. And so we will do a session. We'll get one of the evangelists from Miro to come and do a session for everybody, because once we've gone through, they've got a launch event called Canvas in October. Once we've gone through that, the next stuff will be announced about what can be talked about, and it's really cool. And so I'm really looking forward to that, and really looking forward to doing work with Miro. So this is our first event which had a kind of Miro connection. So that's that. And the third partner we're going to have is obviously going to be Penta Hotel, because they're kindly going to give us some space from next month. Nice. So that's nice. So that's our partners piece. In terms of introductions, so this is Alistair. Alistair will obviously do his introduction a bit more as well, but I will.
I'm going to go straight in.
You go straight in. But I was talking to Alistair as we were setting up about like how adventurous this picture looks, and I like sort of in motorbike gear and look like you've been across the Kalahari at that point or something like that. Yeah, which is excellent. So this is Alistair's second or third talk with us. Third, I think. Yeah. So we're really pleased to have him back. And it's great to have kind of like expertise from people like Alistair, who are actually from Reading, rather than people from Berlin and people from the US and all that kind of stuff, who are actually from here, coming and talking back to the community. So thank you very much, Alistair. Bit of logistics. For those of us in the room, our toilets are past the lobby, the lift lobby. For those of you who are online, you know where your toilets are. I've been doing that joke for 65 months and nobody's laughed for a while, so that's good. So I like new people coming. That's good. So there are no fire escapes planned, blah 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 blah, all that kind of stuff. We are recording. Okay, and so therefore the reason we record is you end up in meetups with 50 odd people accepting and then 20, 30 odd people turning up. The people who don't turn up, quite often the reason they register for things is because they want to be able to get videos, they want to be able to see things back and do stuff asynchronously. So that's why we record stuff and then we share that stuff back out to the community. If you have any problems with that, please turn your video off and all that kind of stuff, but like that's the reason we record. In terms of the last thing on my side is the code of conduct. So we do have a code of conduct from Digital. The idea is to make sure that all our spaces are happy, friendly, inclusive. We've never had a problem with any sessions, but we do have a code of conduct. If you feel that you've been excluded or marginalized in any way, please get in contact with us and we will deal with it. Okay, so if you want to read our full code of conduct, it's at the bottom of there. Cool. So that is my introduction done. So hopefully we've got through that in 13 minutes, which is good. So Alistair, over to you, please.
Business. Okay, right. Let me first get the screen share. Your meeting will end in 10 minutes, it says.
That's going to be a problem. Yeah, I saw that.
So that'll be fun. Anyway, let's see where we go. Everybody see the screen, okay?
Yes.
Cool. And I'm also going to be using this. I don't know how that's going to work if people want to make Stuart Munton sort of larger on their own screens at home when it comes to that. Well, let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. This is an experiment, folks. Like we always love, we always want a good experiment. So first of all, hello everyone, and thank you for having me. I don't normally use bullet points, but I have to this time because I want to make sure I stick to time. And I want to cover 3 points today. Firstly, number one is that we are born agile and we lose this ability to various forms of interference. Number two, therefore, we don't need to teach people how to be agile. What we need to do is we need to help each other to rediscover this dormant ability of ours. And number three, because I'm an accountant, natural agility helps reduce risk and increase control, contrary to popular belief. Does that sound okay if I cover those 3 points?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Now, of course, what I would have done is I should have gone onto here, press that button, and we would have had those 3 things come up like that. Good. I'm trying to manage 3 different things at the moment. My printer decided it didn't have any more print, so I'm doing this all over the place at the moment. Bear with me. Virtually, if you will, please raise your hand if you've ever had a brilliant idea at work.
Now and again.
Now and again, now and again. Probably, brilliant. Okay, now keep your hands up if that idea actually got implemented. Pick one of those ideas, and did it actually get implemented? Pick one that did, maybe. Okay. Now leave it up if it got implemented without going through a committee, without being watered down, or without being delayed by an approval chain.
Hands down.
Oh, sounds familiar, doesn't it? The thing is, we're all survivors of the same crime. It's a crime that Sir Ken Robinson talks about in 2006 in what has become the most watched TED Talk of all time. In it, he explains how we kill creativity. And creativity is fundamental to agility. So those brilliant ideas that you all had prove that we're all geniuses and that we all are naturally agile, but we have been systematically smothering this most powerful problem-solving machine ever created, this one here, which is your brain. Humans, when working together, have an infinite capacity for problem-solving and innovation. But we've built a box of interference that limits our agility. Let me just talk about this for a second, because I think this is important. What is agile? For me, agile is figuring out the most effective way of delivering an outcome within valid constraints. For me, it's not frameworks, it's not methodologies, it's simply about finding the optimal way to achieve what matters. So being agile has to do with how we think. So information comes into our brain, and the first thing that happens is we interact with it through observation and curiosity. Then, if it is something of interest, we move on to experimentation and hopefully collaboration. And if we're still deciding to continue with that, that will lead to either discovery, learning, and/or problem solving. So ideas will flow back and forth. And if they flow without any interference, we will have adaptability. And they'll continue to flow backwards and forwards until something pops out in the form of solutions, innovations, and the delivery of value. As far as I'm concerned, this flow of ideas is the very engine of human progress. But we have built walls around this. We've built walls of interference that inhibit this flow. Here we go. Let's see if this works.
Before you do, because I'm going to inhibit your flow at this point.
Go ahead. We're interacting.
I'm interacting and collaborating. This Zoom is actually going to stop in 5 minutes. So what I've done is I've set up a Google Meet.
So to find out what happens, what the answers are, how you
So,
your natural agility. Please come back next
give me
week.
2 seconds. Let me chuck the.
Brought to you by our partners.
let me find the actual link that I've just created for the meetup and set it back into.
So you want me to jump out and jump back in?
Yes, please. I'm about to send it. All right. So apologies, everybody.
We'll be back after these messages.
We'll be back in a minute. Let me send the link out to everybody so everybody can join it. Give me 2 secs. Which one is it? That one.
So,
So I'll put it in the Zoom for now, so everyone has it, and I'll email it to everybody as well. Give me 2 secs. So if you can all join that link in the chat.
just jump down.
Oh, okay. And let me email it to everybody as well. Let me email it to you specifically, Alistair.
Thanks.
Very efficient, Stuart, I have to say.
But it's also annoying.
It is very annoying, I agree.
Oh. Right. So that start the Google Meet.
That's in our 40 minutes limit for several years.
I don't know where that's come from. Honestly,
Yeah.
I don't know. But I can't upgrade my account at the moment for some reason. So anyway, let me start the Google Meet.
Very quick question whilst you do that. Sorry to interrupt what you're doing, but I need to drop off at 6:40. Will the Google Meet also be recorded? Yes.
Yes, we will record the Google Meet, and then we'll end up with a bit of both. Unfortunately.
Yeah, fantastic. Yeah. Sorry, I've only got another 20 minutes.
No, it's all good. Cool. So that's the Google Meet. Need to admit people into.
I'm hearing Stu. You're on mute.
Okay. Sorry about that. Thank you.
I haven't received it yet.
Have you got the Google Meet link now?
Video link for that one. Yeah.
Yeah. So is anyone left on the Zoom? There are still some people on the Zoom. Does the link work for you guys? That's in the chat.
Yep.
Cool. I will kill the Zoom then, and then we will move on to t'other.